Back to the Your Personal Bank Show with Ference Toth.
Welcome back to the Your Personal Bank Show. So we've been talking about today, discussing interest rates with the Federal Reserve, how it's affecting the personal bank policies, the positive arbitrage. If you missed it, go back to the yourpersonalbank.com, listen to the first segment. Good news is we still have it. It's a little tighter than it's been, but that's given the economic situation we're in and the increasing interest rates and all that kind of stuff. The fact that you can still move forward, safely, guarantee you tax-free, is good. We've discussed energy policy, and again, one of the best articles I've seen. We're posting it. It was a Yahoo Finance article talking about the war on fossil fuels. Again, one of the most balanced articles I've seen in a very long time. That's hard. That doesn't happen very often. So go to yourpersonalbank.com, check it out. The link will be there. The other thing is, I haven't talked about this a lot recently or yet. The frustrations with the midterm, I've discussed that. But particularly here in Arizona, with the slow counting situation where you have the Secretary of State running for governor, the person in charge of the election for the office she's running for is in charge of the elections. I can't see why that's not legal. I don't understand why that's not legal. That is a complete, total conflict of interest. If you or I did something along that line, we'd be bounced out of our, either with our job or we'd lose our license or whatever it may be. And we tried to pull some kind of stunt like that, conflict of interest. We'd be taken down. We'd be taken down, and rightly so. Yet our apparently governor-elect here in Arizona managed somehow to get away with it without, without any, I don't know. And the way it went down, the machines not operating on election day and all these kinds of things, it's just incredibly frustrating. But there's some good news. Because, like in this example, again, Florida strikes again. We've been talking about ESG. That's that environmental, social governance on investment funds and things like that, which is basically socially engineering investment funds, retirement funds with our investment dollars. Well, Florida has just pulled $2 billion from BlackRock, and so that they will, like I said, be taking their business elsewhere, so that they can't, and not using ESG standards. And I think that's great. It's, again, you can vote with your dollars too. And then on other good news is their state attorneys general are filing a lawsuit moving to block Vanguard's climate crusade from impacting public power grids. That's actually quite important because you have these companies like BlackRock and Vanguard, particularly, who have been committed to this net zero asset managers initiative, which companies commit to seek net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 or sooner using investment funds. So they're pushing these companies or not allowing investment into energy sources that, like natural gas, oil, things like that we need right now until green energy technology comes aboard and replaces those. Or, you know what, folks? Here's another thing. I still believe in human ingenuity. I'm going to say something blasphemous here. Do you realize that the current green energy that we know of today may not replace fossil fuels? Think about that a minute. How do we know right now for sure that green energy is going to actually accomplish it? What if there's some unknown energy source that we haven't discovered yet, or a way to tap it? I'll put it that way. I'm sure we've discovered a lot of things, nuclear fission and all these kinds of things that are kind of sci-fi right now. What if in 10 years, 20 years from now, think about it. What if that becomes the thing that actually is the panacea? What if you could run I've heard of these things actually, and it's not it's sci-fi now today, but it's not in the realm, outside the realm of possibility, but running an engine, like a car engine, on water. And the exhaust is oxygen and hydrogen. Okay? I've heard and seen some things on that. Okay? I don't know if it's going to come about, but what if that becomes a primary energy source in a decade or two and blows the current solar and wind and all this kind of stuff we know about today out of the water. That's my point. We don't know what's going to actually happen. We don't know what ingenuity, invention, whatever it may be, is going to come about. And by pushing to curtail current sources before the other ones are ready to come online and take over, as Elon Musk said himself, creates economic chaos. Thankfully, more and more people are coming to realize that. And maybe, just maybe, this will be more short-term than long-term. With the current administration, I don't have much hope. Okay? I think they're just hopeless. They're like a cult. I don't know what else to put it. Hey, I'm running out of time here real quick, so stay tuned. 866-268-4422 or yourpersonalbank.com for more info, and I'll finish up in the next segment. Don't miss it.
For more information on Your Personal Bank, feel free to contact Ference at yourpersonalbank.com.